Hello, Year 11, Mr. Jones here. I've put together a short video for how to effectively revise for Creative Imedia, guiding you to some helpful resources and techniques which will help you to be successful in the summer examination unit, which is called R093. Firstly, we're going to have a look at Know It All Ninja. So you're going to be set weekly tasks from now until the exam date, which will cover all the key topics that will appear on the exam. You're provided with a combination of notes, diagrams, videos on the topic before completing a short quiz at the end of each of the topics. After you've completed the quiz, you'll have the opportunity to revisit this at a later date, whether this is to improve your test score or to consolidate the learning, making sure that we have that knowledge stored in our long-term memory. So you're going to become very familiar with Know It All Ninja between now and the exam date. It links in quite nicely with YouTube, as with YouTube, we have all of the Know It All Ninja videos on there, and they're a really effective tool that we can use to revise from, as they cover all the key aspects of a given topic in a short video. And as you can see from the diagram on the right hand side, there are 34 videos in the Know It All Ninja series, and they're really easy to navigate, so you can find the video of the topic that you wish to revise. Now, this links in to Cornell note taking, because when you're watching videos, I think it's a really good way to make sure that you're not just watching it, you're actually absorbing what the video is trying to convey. So just broken it down into 6 easy steps of how we can use Cornell note taking. So the first step, watching the video in short segments, pausing the video every minute or so to give yourself time to write down notes and focus on key ideas. Make sure that when you're taking your notes, you're putting that in the note-taking area, which will be on the right-hand side. And this should concentrate on main points, definitions, any examples that are given in the video. Try to use bullet points and abbreviations. So this keeps your notes concise by using the bullet points and abbreviations, maybe even using symbols. Write key terms and questions in the designated section. So you'll see on the left-hand side, this is where you can jot down any keywords or questions related to the information that you've taken in the note-taking section. So this will help you review and engage with the material later on. Then you can highlight or underline any important points. So if certain concepts are emphasized in the video, highlight or underline them to make sure they stand out for when you go back and review the notes you've taken. And at the end of watching the video, we need to summarize. So once the video's finished, take a few minutes to write a summary of what you've learned. Write that in the summary section at the bottom, making sure you're focusing on the main ideas or conclusions that you've drawn from the video you've watched. And then probably the most important thing is make sure that you're reviewing this regularly. So go back to your notes after a few hours or the next day or the next week and use the information that you've taken in the main notes section that's going to help you to revise, embed this into your long-term memory so that when it comes to the exam, you've got this boxed off. Next, looking at the revision guides that we have available. So these will help you when you're carrying out your revision at home. We have the Creative Imedia revision guide and workbook, which has been created by Cambridge. This covers all of R093, providing us with lots of detailed explanations of each topic, and it's accompanied by an end of topic test that we can use to test our knowledge that we've learned from looking through the book. We have the CGP equivalent of the revision guide. Again, this covers all areas of R093, but its purpose is to support you when answering the questions that are in the exam practice workbook. So the 2 books on the right hand side of the screen, they work better as a pair. So you'll be able to attempt short response questions, so your 1 or 2 mark questions, which will relate to each topic. And there are also examples of questions which require a longer response at the back of the book, which relates to various case studies as well. So it will cover every type of question that may appear on your exam. Next, we've got the tried and tested method of completing past papers and marking your responses using the mark scheme. Past papers and mark schemes are available on the class Teams channel. So if you go onto our Teams channel, you'll see them there. Just a quick note, these are not to be done just before the exam. This should be something that's part of our revision strategy from here on in. So this is a great way to understand the types of questions that you could be asked, give you the chance to develop your exam technique or identify topics that you're confident in or you may need to further revise. So the key takeaway from past papers is to learn from the mistakes that you're making, as this will guide the topics that you're going to revise in the future. I'm just going to guide you to a couple of useful websites that you can use for your revision. Firstly, we have Quizlet. So Quizlet is useful for pre-populated flashcards that you can use to create your own flashcards, or you can test yourself whilst carrying out the various activities that have been created. So you can embed that key terminology from the course. So that's Quizlet. And we've also got Quizzes. So a site I'm sure you're familiar with. So Quizzes has lots of multiple choice question quizzes that relate to the examination unit of R093. The quizzes would really complement any note taking or flashcards practice that you've done during your revision session and would act as a great way to check your understanding at the end of a revision session as well. So there are 2 useful websites that you can have a look at. And then finally, I just want to bring you back to the coursework that you've been doing. So do not forget the coursework that you've completed this year, because there's going to be questions that are going to relate to the work that you've carried out when you've completed either R094 or what we're currently completing R097. So an example of this is on the mock exam that was completed before Christmas. There was a 9 mark question asking you to edit an existing wireframe diagram. So this is one of the requirements of you to create this in R094. So there's going to be lots of examples of things that you've done in coursework that's going to be asked on the exam. Other questions that you might be asked to create a visualization diagram. You might be asked to suggest pre-planning documentation for a case study, all of which we've covered in R094. But thanks for watching that, and good luck, and remember, ask your class teacher for any help that you require. It's what we're here for. Thank you very much.